Greetings and welcome to the Halloween edition of the Sliders Review. And I'm here today to talk to you about The Haunting Hour, Dreamcatcher. This is by far probably the best Haunting Hour episode ever. And I mean ever. Why? Because it's legitimately the scariest one of them all. In fact, it's so creepy, so eerie, and the twist at the end is so good. This probably surpasses not only every episode of The Haunting Hour, but that of R.L. Stine's Goosebumps too. Why? Because R.L. Stine created The Haunting Hour. Majority of this episodes came from his books. The other ones were just made up. Whoever came up with this episode, my God, they did their work in writing. This is A material in my opinion. For that of a kid's show. Like, it's scary for that of a kid's show, but it is creepy for that of any level. I still cannot fathom the ending that is so juicy good. Like, my God. So, anyways, Dreamcatcher. It starts off on a bus, a summer camp bus, and there's a bunch of girls getting on there. And there's a girl by the name of Amelia. She's sitting in her in one of the seats, and she's all by herself. And there's a new girl by the name of Lisa. She has nowhere to sit. She sees Amelia and she's about to sit by her until a girl named Meg sits by Amelia. Meg knows Amelia, and they've been to summer camp before. And right off the bat, Meg is just complaining about how she don't want to go to like summer camp, how lame it is, all these new people that's coming here to look like a bunch of losers. And Amelia steps up and stands up to her and says, "You know what? I want to make friends, new friends this summer. And I want to make friends with some of the new people. And I don't think they're losers." So she goes and sits by the new girl, Lisa. This pisses off Meg a lot. So Meg does what any type of mean girl probably does. Now she's trying to turn Lisa, the new girl, against Amelia and tells her, "Oh, you don't want to talk to her. Like, I hear all kind of weird, freaky stuff about her and she's a bad person, blah, blah." So next thing you know, Lisa stands up to Meg. It's all like, "I make my own friends and my own judgments on people and stuff like that." And then she goes over to go talk to like Amelia. This pisses off Meg even more. So while they're at camp, they're getting ready to go in their bunks and stuff, and the head counselor is like Justine, and like she's telling them how like they're gonna make dream catchers. And she tells them that the dream catcher, what it does is that it protects you when you dream at night. Like, it takes all your fears and your nightmares away, and you only have good dreams and stuff. And of course, the dream catcher is like a Native American thing. So while making one, Justine tells Lisa how good she is at making one. This makes Lisa happy. This pisses off Meg and everything. And Amelia can see just like, how grumpy and angry Meg is this summer and don't understand why, and it's really irritating her. So while the girl's asleep at night, Meg decides she's going to have herself a little fun with Lisa. They're sharing the same bunk. And so she asks Lisa, "Are you scared to go to sleep? Are you afraid like something like the boogeyman might come and get you and you need the dream catcher to come and save you?" And Lisa's just kind of like, "No." But then Meg takes a marble and throws it on the floor and makes like a noise, which creeps out Lisa. Then Meg's all like, "You want to hear a story about how a woman died here at camp 20 years ago?" And she rises up and looks at like Lisa, while Lisa looks terrified. And then she tells her of like this haunted story about how this one camper lady just ended up dead. And like when she's telling it in a very like whispery type white voice, and it like really creeps out like Lisa, and Lisa's getting even more creeped out as Meg is like telling her scary ghost story and everything. Then at the end of the ghost story, Meg just like screams, and it freaks out Lisa. Justine comes running in, and she's all like, "Now, Lisa, you don't believe in the boogeyman now, do you?" And just Meg's just having a little fun with you and everything. Lisa is petrified. She does not like scary nothing and everything. Like, you have to watch this episode to hear the ghost story itself. The way the actress who plays Meg tells it is perfect. Like, it is perfect and everything. The girl is seriously demented. Now, the boogeyman in Meg's scary story is named the Dreamcatcher. And what he does is that he captures all your good dreams and leave you with nothing but nightmares. And the thing about the girl who disappeared 20 years ago, she died in her sleep because he has the ability to kill you. Or he has the ability to scare you so bad in your dream that it kills you and everything. And he has this really creepy look. He's like a giant spider, man. Like, he has like a black body, these long, huge black tentacle arms, and then this white like face with long, shaggy, like nappy looking black hair and fangs. Like, he's so creepy looking. So like later on, Lisa, she's like walking through the woods, and she goes to like the counselor's like little um cabin. And so when she goes inside to see Justine, Justine is no longer Justine. Justine's face is like demonic looking. It looks like that of the Dreamcatcher. White face, black lips, black eyes, and Lisa is freaked out. She's dreaming, having a nightmare. Then next thing you know, something grabs her and drags her outside, and it's like clawing away at her. She's screaming as she wakes up. And so there's Meg. It's all like, "Did you have a nightmare?" She's like, "Yeah." And Meg's like, I forget what she calls her, but basically calls her like an idiot or like a crybaby, or she calls her something. I forgot what. And so Lisa, she's freaked out, but then she looks at her arm. There are blood claw marks on her arm, and she doesn't know where they came from, unless they must have came from the dream. So now she thinks it's real, and now she's scared to go to sleep. And Meg told her, "You can't stay up all night because you'll go insane if you don't get no REM sleep." So as they're walking in the woods, Meg, being her rude self, bumps into like Lisa, and then Lisa asks Amelia, "What's the deal with like Meg?" And she tells her straight up that they used to be friends and everything, but once Amelia started talking to other girls, it made Meg jealous. And so like as they're walking, Amelia's all like, "Well, hold up, I've been in these woods before. They was in my nightmare, and so was that cave. Like, this monster spider looking thing dragged me into it." And Meg tells her straight up, like, "You've hiked these woods several times, and we've been in that cave before, because that's where they hid from the counselors last summer." So Lisa and Amelia think the monster might be real, the boogeyman, like Dreamcatcher dude. But then, of course, Meg just thinks they're idiots. So when they get back to their cabin, Meg's all like, "Oh, did your dream catchers not work?" And then, because they're looking at their dream catchers and they realize somebody cut them. They found out it was Meg. She cut like the string and lost some of the beads to the dream catcher. So they're pissed, and they tell Justine. Justine is mad, and she gives Meg kitchen duty for a whole week. Like, she doesn't even ask if Meg did it or not. She just assumes because the girl said that, and she just gives her like detention and stuff. So later on that night, Lisa can't sleep. And so she lays in bed with like Amelia and stuff and tells her like, "How are we going to beat this thing?" And she's all like, her mom doesn't let her stay up all night, and they don't know they'd be able to do it. Well, they wake up the next morning, they fell asleep, and they're like exhausted, tired. So then Meg tells them, "You losers can't stay up like all night, every night. It's just like impossible and everything." But then she's all like, "If Justine found out you didn't go to sleep, you'll get in trouble." So Justine comes in talking about it's time to go canoeing. And so Meg's about to tell on them, but then she's all like, Amelia and Lisa wants to go first when it comes to canoeing. So this pisses them off because they're exhausted from last night. So as they're all getting ready, Lisa decides to cut Meg's Dreamcatcher. So later on at night, they're at the campfire and they're singing, and Amelia and Lisa are like drifting off, and then next thing you know, everybody starts huddling around Lisa with this creepy look on their faces, singing this creepy song about how she's gonna die. And then the Dreamcatcher looks at her and everything. She wakes up with a fright, but she could barely wake up, and so Justine tells them to get the counselor, like medic person, the nurse, and then so like next thing you know, Lisa starts to pull spider web from her mouth, a long string of webbing, and everybody's like, ew. It's creepy that the thing like has spider webs coming out of her mouth. And so like Lisa tells Amelia there's no way that they can possibly stay up, but they're gonna have to do the best they can because they can't go to sleep no more. So they devise a plan. They are going to stay up all night eating like chocolate and drinking soda and stuff. Well, Meg's all like, you two are getting on my nerves and I need some sleep. So she's going to go sleep in the mess hall that's away from like the camp bunk, the cabin bunks. And so like Lisa and Amelia, they're like chugging soda, they're eating candy, but they're drifting off and they can't stay awake. Well, Lisa has to use the restroom. And so while she's in there splashing water on her face, she hears a strange noise coming from one of the stalls. She opens it up and it's the Dreamcatcher. And he tries to like get her and she's running out of there screaming. So then she heads back to the cabin bunks and Amelia is gone. And so like she has no idea like where she went and everything, but she knows the Dreamcatcher must have got her. So then next thing you know, Meg wakes up Lisa and she's all like, all your screaming have woken me up in the mess hall. So then Lisa is begging for Meg's help to help go rescue Amelia from the cave from the Dreamcatcher, and she's all like, she is not my friend and it is not my problem because she ditched me for you. And so but Lisa is still just like begging and everything. And so like Meg's all like, I'm not helping y'all and stuff. So Lisa decides to go along. So she's walking in the woods with a flashlight, and then all of a sudden here comes like Meg. And she's all like, fine, I'll help loser girl only because she might really be lost. So then they head towards the cave, but then as soon as Lisa turns around, Meg is gone and she can't find her. Meg is hiding behind a tree, and saying under her breath, like, now you see how it feels to be ditched and everything. So Lisa's like going all in the cave and she's looking for like Amelia, and inside the cave it's filled left and right with huge spider webs and everything. So Amelia and like she's screaming for help and Lisa is trying her best to find her. Meg can hear this and her flashlight goes out. So she starts to get a little worried. And then so Lisa, she finds Amelia. And Amelia is like, as Lisa is walking on a spider web, it alerts the Dreamcatcher. And so when she finds Amelia, she's all like, we have to run for it. So they like running and they're running. But then Amelia's feet get like stuck to the spider webbing. It's the sticky part. So Lisa's trying to help her best she can, but they trip and fall. And now they're both on the sticky part. And here comes Meg. And they're all like, Meg, help us. He's like after us. Do you know what Meg did? Took the flashlight and was all like, I'm out of here. And they're all like, you can't just leave us here to die. And she's all like, I'm an only child and I don't like to share. So as Meg is starting to walk out, she trips on the sticky part. And then here he comes. Daddy Longlegs spider himself, the Dreamcatcher. Girls are screaming terrified. They're hollering. They're screaming. And he's just coming up closer and closer to him. Well, next thing you know, they start to hear an alarm go off. Lisa set her alarm watch to wake her up. So the girls start fading out because they're now about to wake up from their nightmare. All except for Meg. Meg decided not to sleep in the cabin. She's in the mess hall. And they tell her that. And she's all like, and she's hollering and screaming as he's coming closer to her. And then, so she's all like, I'm awake, I'm awake, I'm awake. And then he tells her straight up, if you were awake, I wouldn't be here. And then she hollers really loud and it ends. I'm like, my God. The twisted mind that wrote that deserves some type of Oscar. They need some type of award, some type of Emmy, some type of something. That was by far the best episode ever. I could not believe the ending, the twist ending, and how it ended. And this was a kid's show, mind you. Oh my God. That wasn't that spooky. Alright, well, I shall talk to y'all later. Bye.